What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode. My name is Andrew Noble and you are watching Hot Wheels Dad. Now, I debated a little bit of time before actually doing this episode. I didn't want it to come across as sounding pretentious or look at this guy, he owns an expensive sports car and he is complaining. I know a lot of you guys, if you have watched my channel for a while and if you actually know me in person, you know I'm not that type of person to just complain about a car. But just after a year of ownership, I feel like some of the things that I have to say in this video would be something that you would be complaining about in any car. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Here are the 5 things that I dislike about my 2015 Audi R8. The first thing is right when you get inside the car, when you're about to take it out for a drive, the first thing you come across is there is no push to start. Now, in the second generation, 2017 to present, they added the push to start in here, and I feel like the laser cut key is cool, but I feel like that's early 2000s. It definitely was a great security feature for that era. You got a lot of German cars in there. You also got the Mercedes and everything having the laser cut keys. If you're a fan of Gone in 60 Seconds, you know the laser cut keys had a little part in there.
Dude, the keys.
Excuse me a second, guys. Oh, I'm gonna throw up, dog.
Having that push to start would be something cool to have in this Gen 1 Audi R8, especially it being a 2015. I had push to start in my 2012 Dodge Durango, and also 2015 was the first year that Ford actually put the push to start in the Ford Mustang, so I feel like push to start in the Audi R8 would have been nice. But let's get a little bit of that cold start here for you. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is the suspension slash ride height of the car. Now, I wish it was a little bit lower and I wish the suspension was a little bit better from the factory. Now, the way that these tires kind of just tuck in there, I wish from the factory they would have pushed out the tires a little bit more to give it a little bit of a better fitment. And also, I wish it had a little bit of a better ride height. Or if the adjustable mag ride was actually adjusted the ride height of the car, that would have made it so much better. Now, talking about the mag ride, it is a cool feature. The mag ride of the Audi R8 is one of the creature comforts of it. You basically push a button and it adjusts how the car rides as far as stiffness. With it off, driving around town, it's nice and soft. And then with the push of a button, it tightens up that suspension for the track if you wanted to take it on the track, and it really is very useful. Now, the fact that the mag ride is on the Audi R8 also is kind of one of the things that doesn't make it so great. The R8 suspension is known to go out after a couple of years. The coilovers start to leak, and then you have to replace the whole mag ride suspension, which from Audi is over $10,000. So a lot of the guys who are purchasing like the 2011, 2012 Audi R8s are now having to replace the magnetic ride of the car, and it's costing them a lot of money. You can put an aftermarket coilover suspension on the car, which means that it gets rid of that magnetic ride and you basically don't have that button to adjust how stiff it is, which is probably what I would do in the case of the magnetic ride coming out. It is definitely a more cost-effective way of fixing that, and it also lowers the car. It gives it a lower center of gravity and helps with the handling of the car. I always keep it on anyway. I always keep it in the sport setting anyway. Even with me driving around town, I like the feeling of that sports car feeling, so I keep it in the stiffest setting. So adding the aftermarket suspension on there, for me, it really won't make a difference. But again, that is the second thing that I dislike about my Audi R8. Now, driving in the car, the drive is perfect and you don't really listen to the radio a whole lot because you have the sounds of that V10 behind you. But if I were to gripe about something, it would be the infotainment center. The infotainment center is very, very dated. For a 2015 car, it doesn't have the touchscreen options that you would think would have in this infotainment center. You can't push what station you want to go to by the touchscreen. You have to go through and actually manually dial what station you want to go go to. Now you have to actually use this little knob here to get to any of this. Like let's say here, for instance, if you wanted to adjust the sound, you can't just use this little button here to push it. You actually have to come down here and use this little 4-arrow option here to get to sound. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. To get to sound, you gotta push the arrow down here. Now it opens the sound, and you gotta use this little turning thing here to adjust each one of those. To get to the little band area up there, you push the top one and it gets to the band, and now you can switch from AM to FM. Not super user friendly. I wish you can just touch a little button here and it would go to whatever option you wanted it to go to. Next would be the Bluetooth capability. You don't actually have an option to hook your cell phone or your iPhone to the car and play your music through the Bluetooth. There is an option inside this little section here, which is where your CDs go. You got this little cord here which would actually hook your phone up. But since I've had this car, that option has actually never worked. I tried plugging my phone in and I couldn't even get it to connect to my phone. So Bluetooth capability and the actual infotainment center, how dated it is definitely a complaint in my book. And that would be a complaint in any book as far as any vehicle goes, not just the Audi R8. I think for a lot of you, myself included, the joys of hearing that V10 scream and come alive daily outweighs all of these complaints. Let's downshift and hear that V10 come to life. Let's go, baby. 8,000 RPM, let's hit it. Oh, buddy. That is enough to wake you up in the morning time. Hearing the V10 engine come to life, hit 8,000 RPM, there is nothing like the sound. Should we let the overpass hear what the V10 is made of? I think so, let's do it. Oh God, that sounds amazing in the overpass. I don't think people in here are very happy, but you know what? I love the way that V10 sounds. Oh, look at this beautiful Tesla Plaid right here. Brand new. It looks like he is ready to take off, ready for launch. Wow. Dang. First time seeing one on the road. Love it. Now that we're coming into our little parking spot here, the fourth thing that I do not like about the R8, I think it's the fourth thing. I think I said at the beginning of this video I'm going to be doing the top 5 things, but the fourth thing is this backup camera. I don't know if you guys can see it there. It is a terrible backup camera. You can't even see anything out of it. If there was somebody standing back there, you wouldn't even be able to tell that there's a person back there because it is just so terrible. I'm gonna go over here and get in the shade so there's not such a big sun glare on there so you guys can actually see how bad this backup camera is. I mean, you can actually see the pixels in the backup camera right here. And look at how blurry it is. You can see a little bit of the grass, but just terrible quality on that rear view camera. I mean, for that day and age, our little tiny iPhones had a way better camera than what is actually on this infotainment center. So definitely could have had HD quality picture in this. And how expensive this car is, it definitely could have been a better upgrade as far as the camera goes. Now, the very last thing that I want to complain about this Audi R8 is some of the interior features. You get some really, really cheap plastic features. Like for instance, right here on,
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Right here on the emergency brake, that little plastic piece just pops right out. Every time you pull the emergency brake, this little guy pops right out and disappears in the abyss of the car. Now, I actually called Audi to get a quote on this piece. $120 for this one little plastic piece. $120. That's right, folks. So some of the interior features are kind of cheap. You get this cheap plastic, and of course you guys saw this little guy pop out every single time. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this little quick video of everything that I hate about my Audi R8. I'm definitely gonna get you and everything that I love about the Audi R8 because there's way more things that I love about this car than what I just complained about. This car, over a year of ownership, and I just love it more and more every single day. You guys have seen how many times I put it on the channel, and the R8 doesn't even get the amount of views that my F-150 does, but you know what? It is so much fun to get out and do content with. a ton of fun to drive. So if there is anything else that you want to see with the R8, definitely comment down below. I've done a ton of stuff with the car. Go back on the channel and check out everything that I've done in the R8. I have a ton of fun with this car. But thank you for tuning in to this episode of Hot Wheels Dad. Please check my social pages out: Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok under the handle Hot Wheels Dad. Comment down below your thoughts on this video, and also subscribe to the channel, please. It does really help me out. It helps me grow, and it helps me get out to more and more people. And if you like this content, you're gonna see my face up on here once a week. I do post once a week with my cars, with my truck, family time. I have a 3-year-old daughter that we get out and have a great time. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I picked up my daughter in the Audi R8 from school. She's almost 4 years old. She gets to sit in the front seat in her car seat, because where else am I gonna put her? I can't put her anywhere else. So she loves the car and has such a great time in Daddy's race car. Always remember, you are the maker of your own story, so don't forget to make it legendary. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Let's get a little freeway pull for you guys. First gear, let's go.